The Bengals have a new quarterback following the surprising, unique departure of Will Grier. My thoughts on Grier's departure, who they replaced him with, and more as we continue to watch Joe Burrow and whether or not he can play on Monday night. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And yes, Joe Burrow calf watch continues, and we'll have you covered all weekend long, obviously going into Monday night's game and after Monday night's game against the Rams right here on CBT. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's dive in because all Thursday was about watching Joe Burrow and Joe Burrow walking out. And obviously you heard from Joe Burrow on this channel. And then it got really weird when Adam Schefter reported that Will Grier, the Bengals practice squad quarterback, was signing to the Patriots active roster. Since then, Bill Belichick has confirmed the news, and Grier will serve as the Patriots, emergency third quarterback on Sunday. You need to be on the 53-man roster to do so. And the Bengals clearly opted to not sign Grier to the 53-man roster for whatever reason. Maybe Grier opted to go to New England regardless. I think it's interesting, these behind-the-scenes looks. I will say this, Jake Browning had the opportunity last season to go to the 53-man roster on another team, and the Bengals elevated him multiple times and convinced him to stay, and now he's their backup quarterback. So I do think it's interesting that Grier departed, and it was a surprise to me. It was a surprise to you. And I didn't do a video on this, but this morning on allbengals.com, I wrote two names. One, Trevor Siemian. Two, Reid Sinnett, as guys that the Bengals would likely target, given the fact that we're just a little over 72 hours away from kickoff. You need someone that knows your system. Trevor Siemian is not the guy they went with. I'll explain that coming up in a second. They did go with Reid Sinnett. They're signing him to the practice squad. Why? Well, the answer is pretty clear, certainly obvious from an immediate need standpoint. And that's not to say that Reid Sinnett will be around for the foreseeable future, but Monday is almost here. You need a third quarterback, someone that can be your insurance if Joe Burrow can't go and be Jake Browning's backup. And maybe even if Burrow is healthy enough to play, still be active just in case Jake has to go into the game early. You do not want to be stuck with Tyler Boyd or Joe Mixon or someone like that playing quarterback. So I think this move makes sense, and why Reid Sinnett versus Trevor Siemian. Sinnett might have won out. One, Trevor Siemian didn't want to stay on the Bengals practice squad. That was why they went out and got Will Grier. So I think that was a factor. He's a veteran in this league, and so I think he's looking for a roster spot. The Bengals might not have wanted to give him that. And so if he wasn't getting that, and he wasn't willing to sign on the practice squad 4 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, why would he be willing to do that now? I think that's a big question. Reid Sinnett is not going to get poached. No one's coming after him between now and Monday night. And you can reevaluate it after Monday night. But this way you get someone in that knows the system, that played in a preseason game for you. In fact, he was 6 of 11 for 77 yards and a touchdown against Washington in that 21-19 preseason finale. It was a loss, but found Shedrick Jackson downfield for a touchdown, looked comfortable, knows the system. Look, is it going to be great? No. Hopefully we don't have to see Reid Sinnett play. He hasn't even been with the team in 3+ weeks. So hopefully we don't have to see him play. But this is certainly a situation that I look at and I say, all right, the Bengals, they got this right. And maybe they go after one of these veterans next week, whether it's Nick Foles or, Carson Wentz, Cam Newton, Brett Rapien. There are a lot of guys out there that I know fans are I don't even want to say clamoring for, but have mentioned. Who knows? But now is not the time to necessarily do that. Now is the time to get someone that knows the system, that can be Jake Browning's backup if needed. And who knows, maybe he's elevated from the practice squad regardless of whether or not Joe Burrow is active or not. We will find out about Reid. We will find out about him on Monday, most likely, if they activate him or elevate him, from the practice squad. Joe Burrow watch continues. We'll have the latest on that. This video, by the way, brought to you by our friends at Rivertown Inquiry and rivertowninquiry.com. Whether it's this hat, whether it's the shirt I'm rocking, Rivertown Inquiry today, baby. Doug and his team do a tremendous job. It's quality material, whether it's their t-shirts, their hoodies. They have a ton of orange and black here. Obviously, their hats. They have a Tiger Rocks glass that I love. Anytime I drink bourbon, I use that. Pint glasses for the beer drinkers out there. Check them out right now at rivertowninquiry.com. They also have locations, Findlay Market and Oakley, 2 locations here in Cincinnati. Support local, support Rivertown Inquiry and rivertowninquiry.com. It's interesting. I know it's not what we want to be talking about. Hopefully Joe Burrow can suit up. We will have the latest on Joe Burrow throughout the weekend. If there's any news, if I hear anything, that's why you got to hit the subscribe button. That's why you got to ring that bell so you get notified. And yeah, what a weird situation. Will Grier practiced with the Bengals on Thursday, and Thursday evening signed with the Patriots practice, or with the Patriots 53-man roster, and will be their emergency quarterback. Meanwhile, the Bengals bring back a familiar face in Reid Sinnett. We will see if he's on the practice squad long term, but that's where we are at currently on Friday afternoon. For Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.